So I'd like to share with you another thing that may help you in the chase. The first one that I shared was self-inquiry. So this really does go right along with that. And that practice that helped me in the chase is meditation, but not in a way that you might think. So I'd like to share a little more about that with you. Meditation seems to have largely become a generic word for anything where we sit quietly, go inside our head, and try to escape our surroundings in some sort of effort to bring about some relief. Those types of meditations can be very helpful. Very helpful. I mean, those kinds of meditations are what got me started. But the meditation that I want to share with you is not about escaping anywhere or escaping anything. The meditation that I'm referring to is called Zazen. And I find that Zazen is different than most meditations because its main purpose is to simply be still, quiet, and only observe what is happening without adding any thoughts to it. It's just experiencing what's happening around you right now, right here. That's it. You feel the airflow over your arms. You hear the sounds outside the windows. And you be okay with the humming sound coming from the heating or cooling system wherever you are. We're not trying to control, deny, or add anything to the experience. We're just letting it unfold as it is. And you're not trying to make it something other than what the reality around you actually is. You're accepting it all as it is. And I suppose maybe for some it's easier to understand something by also seeing what it is not. And this Zazen is not how I've applied it, a following of the mantra in your mind or, any attempt to focus the mind on anything other than what's happening right here, right now. It's not even counting numbers. It's not counting your breaths. Those can be very helpful when one is new to meditation, to focus the mind, to kind of slow down the surge of endless thoughts. But most of all, Zazen is not stopping the mind so it's blank. I've learned that one of the biggest misconceptions about starting Zazen is that your mind should be blank with no thoughts, or if it's not blank, then somehow Zazen is of no use. But I assure you, the mind will have thoughts whether you want them or not, whether you like it or not. And when you first get started, they're mostly created out of your conditioning. And that conditioning can be a hard one to overcome. And we've been constantly thinking since we were young, and it's almost a habit that we're not even aware of. And it does take the work of practice, sitting in Zazen, to slow down all the thinking. And it certainly doesn't happen by some sort of effort to stop them. It just happens naturally through the actual practice of Zazen. I think this is possible because as you kind of watch your thoughts, like the metaphor of the clouds that I'm about to share with you, the mind is focused on observing those thoughts, not so much interacting with those thoughts. So Zazen is sitting still with an upright posture, breathing with your diaphragm, and watching your thoughts go through your mind as if they are clouds moving across the sky. When your mind wanders off or gets snagged by a series of thoughts, as soon as you realize that that happened, just bring your attention back to breathing and then return to watching the thought clouds move across the mind's sky. It's the repetition of that cycle of being pulled away and brought back that brings about a way that calms the mind. The length of time you sit in zazen varies too. For some people, they prefer 5 minutes, some 20, 10 minutes, even 30 minutes. If you want to sit longer, maybe try 5 minutes twice a day. I prefer 7 minutes. It takes me a little bit to get settled. But above all, remember, zazen is not about trying to escape anything. It's to be fully present with what is right here, right now. Different meditations can be, there are so many other different meditations that can be very helpful to reduce stress, maybe become a bit more calm or even more patient. So if you practice those and they're helpful, please don't exclude them. Just maybe try them in conjunction with zazen. I think you'll be pleased if you stick with zazen. Thank you for being here.